Make it mean something. Hi, I'm Arta. Today, my colleague Kaylee will join us also. Let's make your rebuilding meaningful and intentional. This works best if you participate interactively. Today, this isn't just a video. It's a workshop for you to rebuild after a job loss or major career disruption. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to be willing to tell yourself the truth on paper for the next little while. So, grab a notebook or open a document. This will work best if you write as you go. Pause this video if you need to. When you're ready, we'll start with the first big decision, your non-negotiables.
Decision 1 is, what are your non-negotiables? Non-negotiables are the conditions you will not compromise on in your next role, your next project, or your next chapter. Most of us spend years bending around everyone else's needs. After a job loss, you have a rare moment to ask, what will I refuse to trade away this time, no matter how good the offer looks? Give this some thought. Here are a few examples. No more roles that require constant availability at all hours. No more leaders who use fear, shame, or blame as management tools. No more sacrificing health or family for deadlines. No more working in environments that tolerate bias, bullying, or disrespect. These are not nice-to-haves. These are your personal, do not cross lines. They need to be fairly concrete. For your journaling exercise 1, non-negotiables list, open your notebook. At the top of the page, write, my non-negotiables. Now I'm going to walk you through some questions. Answer in short, honest sentences. No one else has to see this. First question. Think about your last role. What consistently left you exhausted, resentful, or doubting yourself? Write down 3 situations or patterns that drained you the most. Got it? Okay. Second question, which of those were you tolerating because you felt you had no choice? Put a star next to anything you knew wasn't okay, but you accepted anyway. Now turn those into non-negotiables. For each starred item, write a sentence that starts with, in my next chapter, I will not. For example, in my next chapter, I will not work for leaders who disrespect people. Pause the video here to get it down. Finally, choose your top 3. Circle them. These are the ones you will protect, even if an opportunity seems too good to pass up.
Now that you have your non-negotiables, let's move on to decision 2, building for power, not perks. In rebuilding, it's tempting to chase comfort. The salary, the title, the fancy benefits. Those are perks. Power is different. Power is your ability to make decisions, set boundaries, and influence your future without constantly asking for permission. Here's how to recognize the difference. A perk is free snacks in the office. Power is a say in your workload and priorities. Another perk is an impressive title. A lot of people think this is power, but power is the authority and respect that actually come with it, not the title itself. Another perk, unlimited vacation. Power is a culture where people actually take time off without being punished. Let's reflect a little. Losing a job can make you feel powerless, but it can also reveal where your real power lives. Your experience, your relationships, your values, your reputation. Now let's move on to the next exercise. Mapping your power. Turn to a new page and title it, Where My Power Lives. Write down your top 5 strengths at work. Not job titles, but things you do well. Examples could be solving complex problems, calming chaotic situations, mentoring others, speaking truth to power, building systems. Don't be modest here. If you struggle, think of times people thanked you or relied on you for something. Those come from your strengths. Write it all down. Now let's move to another page and focus on your leverage. Title the page, Where Do I Have Leverage? Use the following questions to fill in this list. What knowledge or skills do I have that are not easily replaceable? Who trusts me and would vouch for me? What industries, tools, or problems do I deeply understand? List at least 3 to 5 items. Now we are ready to redefine your power. Complete these sentences in your journal. In my next chapter, power will look like, I feel powerful when I will prioritize roles and environments where I can. Get as specific as you want. The clearer you are on this, the better. Maybe it's the ability to say no to unreasonable deadlines without fear. Maybe it's having a flexible schedule. Maybe it's building your own business or a new career. Write what actually matters to you, not what you're supposed to want. Now, Look back at what you wrote. Read it. See where you are? You are not starting from zero. You are starting from everything you've already become. Let that sink in for a moment. Perks can be taken away overnight. The kind of power you just mapped, that sticks with you. Now we'll move to the third decision, what you will no longer call just the way things are.
Now we are moving on to decision 3. What will you stop normalizing? There's a phrase that keeps people stuck in unhealthy situations. That's just the way things are. It's how toxic cultures survive. It's how people end up doubting themselves instead of questioning the system. Here are some examples of things we normalize to survive in a work environment. Being talked over, interrupted, or ignored in meetings. Having your ideas stolen or credited to someone else. Casual sexism, racism, ageism written off as jokes or personality. Constant chaos, emergencies, and fire drills treated as normal business. This is your moment to say, it might be normal there. It does not have to be normal for me. So your journaling exercise 3 will focus on what you'll stop accepting. Turn to a new page and write at the top, things I will no longer call normal. For our first prompt, name the patterns. Think about your past roles, maybe over your whole career. Write down at least 5 situations, behaviors, or dynamics that never felt right, but you talked yourself into accepting. Don't worry about making it perfect. Don't edit as you go. Don't justify. Just write. Now rewrite the script. For each item, write a second line that starts with, "This is not normal and I will not accept it again because..." Fill in the because with the response that best fits you. Examples could be, because it harms my health, because it erodes my confidence, because it goes against my values. It's time to define your new standard. Now write, "In my next chapter, I will choose environments where..." Finish the sentence. List the opposite of what you experienced. If you wrote constant disrespect, the opposite might be feedback is direct but respectful. If you wrote no growth, the opposite might be my development is encouraged and supported. Anchor it. Look at that page. You are not being too sensitive. You are being clear. This is you refusing to carry old damage into your new life.
You've just done 3 powerful things. Named your non-negotiables. Defined what real power looks like for you. Called out what you will no longer normalize. Now let's bring them together into a simple guiding statement for your next chapter. Journaling exercise 4 is creating your rebuild declaration. On a fresh page, write, "My rebuild declaration." Use your own words, but here's a structure you can follow. 1. In my next chapter, I will not compromise on. Add your top 3 non-negotiables. 2. I will build for power by. Describe how you want your work to feel and where you want your real leverage to be used. 3. I will no longer call it normal when. List the top 2 to 3 patterns you're done accepting. Read it back to yourself. If a sentence feels too soft or vague, sharpen it. This is your contract with yourself. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be true. So let's finish by recognizing something. Job loss can shake you, but it can also strip away illusions and bring you back to yourself. You've just done deep work most people never do, even in a stable job. You've decided what you will protect, what you will build, and what you will never again call just the way things are. Keep this journal close. Revisit your declaration when you're networking, interviewing, or considering an opportunity. Let it guide your yes and your no. If you feel ready, write one final line. From this point forward, I choose to rebuild with clarity, with courage, and on my terms. Say it out loud if you can. Here's a final thought for you. You didn't just lose something. You're designing what you'll never lose again. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, please press the like button below.